What is going on, YouTube? So coming back today with my second preview of the day, and that is the Boston Celtics NBA preview for 2016-2017. So talking about a team last year that went 48-34, was able to lock up, I believe, what was the 5th seed in the East last year, heading into the playoffs, and you know what, had their best season they've had in a little while. So kind of recap the format I'm going to be doing for my NBA previews. For this one, I'm going to give you guys 2 X factors, 2 key players, my best case, worst case scenarios, and then record prediction for the Celtics. I did 3 key players for the Raptors, but like I said, I'm going to do as many key players as I feel like are necessary for each team. So, and I'm also going to give you guys my projected starting 5. So, let's start with the first X factor, and I think that's going to be utilizing newfound post play. So the Al Horford signing was definitely the biggest move the Celtics made this offseason. They finally got, I don't know if they got a superstar, but they finally got that star I think they needed, especially in the post, to be able to take another step forward. Al Horford is going to be a major add down low, and if they are able to utilize him and then Amir Johnson's able to be effective next to him, then that just adds a whole nother dynamic that the Celtics did not have last year. Next one is kind of 2 X factors, but they kind of combine into one, and that's outside shooting and the progression of their guards. So I don't know if Isaiah Thomas is going to put up better stats than he did last year. He had a career year. But I think a few guys like Marcus Smart, RJ Hunter, Terry Rozier could take another step up this year, or they will likely be traded. I think some of them might be traded either way, especially if the Celtics are competing very heavily down the stretch. In 2017, you know, their outside shooting is just it doesn't seem like it'll be very good this year. Marcus Smart, not a great outside shooter. Avery Bradley is an okay one. Isaiah Thomas, not an extremely frequent outside shooter either. You know, their draft wasn't great. Jaylen Brown wasn't the best pick. He's not a great outside shooter either. So, you know, you figure that's something you just kind of have to hope comes along. But either way, I think the progression of the young guards will at least be there. I think Marcus Smart is definitely a guy that could develop into a young star this year in the league. So best case scenario key players. First one is Al Horford. So I kind of talked about both these guys that are my key players already in the X factors, but Al Horford, big pickup for the Celtics. Comes into their lineup, maybe is the talented or second most talented player in this lineup. I think he'll be a very nice compliment down low next to Isaiah Thomas. We'll be able to grab a few more rebounds for Isaiah Thomas as well. You know, this is a guy that's been one of the best centers in the league. I'd say easily top 10 over the last 5 seasons. He's just been an absolute stud with Atlanta. Let me see if I can pull up the statistics right quick. So last year averaging, I believe he played in all 82 games last year during the regular season also, which was big because years past he had experienced some injury troubles in the 2011-2012 season, and then again in the 2013-2014 season. So 2 straight healthy seasons is a big thing. But last year averaged about 15 points per game, about 1.5 blocks, and around 7 rebounds. Not the greatest. His career average is right around 9, so we'll see if he can get that number back up with the Celtics. Second key player, though, is Marcus Smart. You know, one of my personal favorite players from the school that I go to right now, Oklahoma State. I believe the number 6 overall pick back in 2014, and he's had mixed results in the NBA so far. He's been part of quite a few trade rumors for the Celtics, just part of kind of a loaded backcourt that they have, but still 22 years old. I think still got a lot of growth left to do. Did progress when it came to points per game in 2015-2016 to about 9.15 points per game. Steals, I think, could be up even higher this year. It was around 1.5 steals per game. Considering 27 minutes, that's a pretty effective stat, getting up close to around 2, maybe 2.5 steals, 2 3/4 steals for every 40 minutes. Just again, the outside shooting's just not really there for him. He did shoot around 34% from outside his rookie year, which was not very much like him, but this year kind of went back down to where I was accustomed to seeing, with right around 25%. But again, you hope to see growth in the assist department. Really kind of stayed around 3, but rebounds up to about 4.18. So that he is a defensive monster. Like, he has the capability of defending, I think, almost any point guard in the NBA, really, when he reaches his ceiling. So, best case scenario for the Boston Celtics. I think the best case scenario is first place. I really genuinely believe it's first place in the East with an NBA title. Now, I know that's best case scenario. That's saying a lot, that the Celtics would be able to get through Cleveland and Golden State, most likely, obviously if those are the teams that play out, but that's the most likely scenario. It just seems like Boston's really ready to take a next step, that they've got a young coach, they got a young team, they got a motivated team, and they got a team on the rise that's just ready to make some noise out in the East. So, worst case scenario to me, I don't think it's going to happen, but 6th place with the first round exit. It's not completely out of the question that the team could just have a little bit of a collapse. Again, this is worst case scenario. It's not completely out of the question that the team just has a collapse and then, gets knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. To just be a round earlier than they got knocked out this year. So my record prediction for the Celtics is going to be around 55-27. I think 55 wins is very capable of doing. That would probably put them around 2nd place in the East this year. Again, I think they're ready to make that leap. I mentioned this with my Raptors preview. I do believe that the Raptors, Celtics, and Pacers are all in kind of that tier right below the Cleveland Cavaliers in the East. If the Cavaliers slip up at all when it comes to injuries, or if the team chemistry just completely goes out the window, then I think any one of those teams could be ready to strike on first place in the East for this season. But anyway, that'll pretty much do it for this preview. Let me see what's coming up next. New York Knicks will be coming up next for my preview, so getting some big market teams done right now. But anyway, go check. If you do want to check out some of the previews ahead of time, I have a little bit behind on them, but I will have them posted by tomorrow morning. Even if this one isn't posted by tomorrow morning, it's about 4 in the morning right now, so I'm doing some of these videos pretty late. But again, if you want to see any of them early, I will have 5 of the previews posted by the morning, as they've been laid out in this video. And then also the past ones, if you want to check the Raptors one out also as well. Link to the playlist to this entire NBA preview series will also be in the description below. Also, go give me a follow on Twitter. I tweet SportsFire every single day, and then also follow on Instagram as well. But anyway, that's pretty much it. See ya.